Again, that's another reason why people get confused, frustrated, and they end up quitting guitar. It's just too much. Friends, Brian here for Yes You Can Play Guitar. First and foremost, guys, I can't thank you guys enough. Wednesday, we hit 8,000 subscribers. Thursday, I was on the road driving all day, and before you knew it, I had people messaging me saying, dude, you've hit 10,000 subscribers. I had to stop and go, what? And now today, the Sunday, we have hit 11,000 subscribers. I can't thank you all enough. If someone would have told me a year ago, they would have said, a year from now, you're going to have 11,000 subscribers, you're going to meet all kinds of amazing friends all over the world, and you're going to be interviewing one of your big guitar heroes this coming week, I would have laughed. I really would have. And then I would have laughed some more. Hey, I wanted to give back a little bit, and you know, again, not to say I'm better than anyone else, but one of the things that made me do well and be successful as a guitar teacher is I could think like a beginner guitar player. Meaning I could show someone something, but also realize this is what is making it tough for them, what they don't understand, how to make it easier. I have had hundreds of requests to do reaction requests and some lessons for Hotel California by the Eagles. Now, being up front, I don't do any requests for reactions for the Eagles because it can cause a lot of problems for your YouTube channel, not just having a copyright claim or having the video blocked. So there's a reason why I don't do those. But Hotel California is a very, very common and sought after song on the guitar for a lot of beginners. And I've seen different videos from other channels talking about it for beginners, but you have to think like a beginner. Okay, some versions are going to use a capo, okay? There is nothing wrong with a capo. It has its place in guitar playing. I'll do that on another video. But when you think like a beginner, when you start saying, well, to move it to this key, to do this, to do that, it gets very confusing for a beginner, okay? So we're gonna walk through chord by chord of Hotel California, and we're gonna talk about the original way they play it, but then I'm gonna show you a way you can play it with no capos and no bar chords, which makes it much more friendly for a beginner, okay? So if we take a look, the first chord in the actual version, okay, we'll do the verse here. Okay, it's a B minor. Okay, now for a beginner, we'll go down here. Okay, so a B minor chord. Okay, a lot of beginners do not like a B minor chord. Okay, because to them, the B minor can be a bar chord. Okay. Now there's an easier way to play a B minor, okay? All I have to do is instead of playing the bar, take my first finger and play the second fret on the high E string, but you only play the strings that you're fretting. So instead of barring all the way across, I'm just moving my first finger, okay? So for a lot of beginners, they would still be, oh, that can be frustrating. Cool, no problem. So this is what we're going to do, okay? We're going to lower the B minor, which is in the original version, and we're going to lower it 2 keys to A minor, okay? Therefore, you can start the song, okay? It'll be in a different key than what the Eagles do, but it will still sound good. You can play it with your A minor chord, okay? Which is one of the 15 beginner open chords. All right. Now, the next chord in the song is an F sharp or F sharp major, okay? A lot of people get confused by that. F sharp means F sharp major, okay? Once we've been playing for a while, we don't have to say that, okay? We know it's major. Now, a way to play that is if we take our open F major chord, okay? This is one that people struggle with. If you got guys, you know, I know people know me more for my reaction requests now, but if you look back at some of my beginner videos I was putting up a year ago, they go into all this detail. I have one video about strategies so you can actually play the F properly instead of being frustrated with it forever. Okay? If we take the F and we slide it all up 1 fret, it becomes an F sharp major or an F sharp. We only play the strings that we're fretting. So the original version, we have a B minor, then F sharp major. So for people that have their 15 beginner open chords down, I'll say, okay, do an exercise. We're going to go B minor to an F sharp major. Okay, I'll say, focus on that, practice that for a week. Okay, because it's very similar. It's very similar, the fingerings, okay? It's very close. Okay, B minor to an F sharp. Okay, now for someone who's still relatively new to the guitar, okay, no problem, okay? We won't worry about the F sharp, we'll move it back 2 keys, and we'll play an E major, okay? Your fundamental step in learning music theory is something called the chromatic scale. If you don't know it, I really recommend you do. So if we take our F sharp, okay? And we move down another one, we have E major. Okay? So now, playing it the more beginner friendly, our chords are A minor. Okay, then the next one is E. If you are playing it in the same key as the Eagles, so you have your B minor, and then practice that switching, going from B minor to F sharp. Next chord, A. A lot of you out there will know this chord. Okay, we have our A. A lot of people with the A, they struggle with it. There's a lot of fingerings. I actually play it with my last 3 fingers, okay? Some people will play it with their first 3, and then there's an alternate fingering too. I like my last 3 fingers. You know, I don't have the biggest hands in the world, but I don't have the smallest either. And I find my pinky is thinner than my first finger, so I always played it with my last 3 fingers. Okay? So that's A, which is part of your 15 beginner open course. But if you want to stick to the easier way of playing it, what we're going to do is we're going to take the A and move it back 2 keys. Good God. A back 2 keys is G. Okay? So in the original Eagles version, we've got this. Okay? We're not going to do that. We're going to switch it, we're going to do this, okay? Okay, if we go back to the original version, the next chord is E. Instead of playing it for E, if you want the easier, more beginner way, no capo, no bar chords, we'll move it back 2 keys, E, move back 2 keys is D. The Eagles, we have these 4 chords, B minor, F sharp, A, and E. Then A, and then E. Okay, but if we move it back 2 keys, no capo, no bar chords, we can play it A, minor, E, G, and D. So we've got this happening. Original version, it goes G. Okay, here we can't go G, we got to go 2 frets before G. F. Original song, okay, we have this. B minor to F sharp. A. E. G. Okay, but if we play it more beginner friendly, no bar chords, no capos, E, G, we have D, and we have F. It's D. Original version, beginner, okay. So instead of D, we have C. F down to C. Okay, you're following me here? Okay, so we're just taking this, we're moving it back 2 keys, okay? Now again, for you beginners that have problems with the F, okay, I have a video I put up probably about a year ago. This is from my many years of teaching. I have a way of breaking the F down so you can actually play it. I'm going to put the link up here in a card for you, right here. Okay, so this is what we have so far, okay? Now the next chord in the original version goes E minor. Okay, so if we do that for the beginner, D is 2 keys before E. And we go back to the E, okay, then it's back to an F sharp. In this case, we want to play it as an E. Okay, so again, I'm trying to be careful to not actually play the song, but in the beginner version here, okay, so we have no chords. Your hardest chord undoubtedly is going to be the F. Guys, again, I've come up with strategies to help people get the F much quicker. So I'm going to post a link for you to this old video, but I really go in depth on it, okay? Everyone who follows it, they end up getting the F so much quicker. So this is the chord progression here, okay? So this is what it sounds like. So we have A minor, E, G, D, F, and C, D minor. Okay, and then back to E again. So that is your verse chord progression. So all we do then for the chorus, same idea, chorus. Okay, and chorus here. Okay, so here the original version goes G, D, E minor, B minor. Okay? I'll write that in properly for you here. So my writing's horrible. Come on. So again here, moving this back 2 keys. So we have F, C, okay, D minor, A minor. Okay? Then the next part, G, D, E minor, F sharp. Okay, so we're going to go F, C, D minor, E. That is a simple way to put it in for a beginner, okay? So again, your chorus, you'll have this. D minor, A minor, F, C, D minor, this is a simple way of taking a really popular song that everyone wants to learn, not getting confused with capos, because capos confuse the hell out of beginners. And we're just changing it. We're actually transposing it. We're changing it to a different key. We're moving it 2 keys back, okay? So we're just dropping everything back 2 keys. If you don't understand what that means, you should really look at my lesson for the chromatic scale. It's like an 8-minute lesson or 10-minute lesson, and it is so explanatory. Automatically, you're going to level up with your theory, okay? It's really not that hard, okay? This makes it a lot more. Now, you have the F major. We have strategies to get the F major, but this is a much easier way for a lot of people to get the song, okay? So remember, guys, thank you again so much. This is a little bit of my gift to you. Hotel California. I've been asked about this song so many times in the past year or so, it's crazy. Big performance tip here, guys. A lot of beginners, this really messes them up. They worry too much about the strumming patterns, okay? What I like to do when I teach beginners, okay, let's say you have to go from some different chords. This is how beginners will switch chords. They'll be like, so here, let's say we're going to do like an A minor to an E, right? If you have those awkward pauses, which you will because you're a beginner, if you're doing that, don't worry about the strumming pattern because your fingers aren't ready to change on time yet. So what I'll do is I'll get a student just drilling those chord changes so the fingers get comfortable and not worry about the strumming. When you add more complicated strumming when you can't even change chords in time yet, it just adds more stress and frustration for the beginning guitar player. So I break it down to the simplest elements, okay? And we do basic strumming. You have to get that down first, okay? Again, that's another reason why people get confused, frustrated, and they end up quitting guitar. It's just too much. It's like, okay, all right, just practice changing between the chords. This lesson we're doing, just practice getting comfortable going from chord to chord, and then you can start worrying about more complicated strumming. But if you can't change chords in time, it's not going to matter. That's why I like to use the deconstructive technique when teaching. Bring it to its simplest element and then make it more complicated as you go. But for beginners, that's another reason. It's just too much. They're trying to focus on strumming, but these fingers can't change on time. Just get comfortable with the chords first and then worry about the strumming. Remember, practice hard, but practice smart, and we'll see you soon.